Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today is January 31st. It is the last day of January. I'm actually behind on a video. So in this video, I will be reviewing the fourth paycheck in January along with the fifth paycheck. It's my extra bonus paycheck. And since it is also the end of the month, we will be closing out the month of January to see exactly how much we spent in which categories. And again, anything that is left over, we apply to extra savings or extra debt. Right now, our main focus is paying off our trip to New York, since that was all paid for on our credit cards, and that credit card is due this coming month on February 20th. So let's go ahead and review last week's paycheck, which was my husband's. We did have a rollover income of $354. My husband got paid his usual paycheck of $1,600, so we did have $1,954 left over, or left to spend. We only had two bills that were due between the 24th and the 30th, and they're listed here. We had our car due and then a loan that we owe money on. Since it is my husband's paycheck, he did get his usual $400 in variable spending, and we did contribute $50 to our emergency savings account. So looking over at our summary, our total income minus our bills, minus our expenses, minus our savings, we did have $351 left over, and that did roll over to this week. Last week, there was no cash stuffing needed because it's my husband's paycheck and he does not cash stuff his paycheck. So the $351 sat in the account and it was rolled over to this week. Today, I did get an extra paycheck since I did get paid 3 times. So with the rollover and my paycheck, we did have $2,331 to work with. Originally, I was going to put my extra paycheck majority into my savings account. However, because I do have to pay off this New York trip, nothing is going to my savings account. And I am going to apply the entire $1,580 to my New York trip. Since I am paid bi-weekly, I do stuff my envelopes, so even though it is an extra paycheck, I'm still going to stuff my envelopes. However, I am making adjustments to what I am stuffing. These numbers here are normally what I put into my envelopes for my own spending. I'm actually going to switch it up a little bit, and I'm going to put $100 into personal, $50 into shopping, $30 into clothes. I'm not going to do anything in makeup. And I'm reducing my fun stuff from $250 to $190. And then my miscellaneous category is going to get its usual $30. So I'm still in my $400 budget that I give myself, but I'm just changing the way I'm stuffing my categories, mainly because this weekend I am planning on getting a haircut. So very much needed, but I am going to give myself $100 for personal. Personal is where I budget for my nails, my eyebrows, and my occasional haircut. So since I am increasing this budget, I am taking away from makeup and I'm taking away from my fun stuff category so that I still have my regular $400 to spend. And so my regular $400 means I did go to the bank. I withdrew $400. This is how I broke it up. It's a little bit different, but I have $400. And so, let's add the number here. Our total income minus our bills, minus our expenses, minus our savings. We do have $351 left over. And what we have left over at the end of the month automatically goes to our goals, which is paying off extra debt or paying off extra or adding to savings. In this case, it is the debt. So I will be applying the $351 to my New York trip. That is money that stays in the bank. I never take that money out, so I just transfer it online from my checking to my credit card. This amount I'm also going to transfer from my checking to my savings account. There was no reason for me to unstuff this if I'm just going to pay back my credit card. So that is what we have for the last paycheck in December. I'm really sad that I'm not adding anything to my savings account, but it's all going to New York and I absolutely love going there. I had such a great time this New Year's with my husband and our friends, so very, very worth it. But moving forward in 2024, I'm going to try and stick to my goals of paying off as much debt as I possibly can. So hopefully there's no more surprise trips that I'm going to be going on. So I am going to first, before we look at the monthly budget, I'm actually going to bring out my binders. Since it is the last day of the month, that means we are unstuffing our family budgets. We budget these 3 categories on a monthly basis, so whatever is left over in here at the end of the month, we take it out and apply it to our goal, which of course is paying off New York. So in groceries, our total budget that we put in this month was $400, but we did have rollover of $100 from last month, so we did have $500 total to spend. After all of our grocery shoppings this month, we did go over by $10. However, I did pull from another category to offset this amount, which I took $10 from our household envelope since we did have leftover. So this one did budget this one did close out at 0. So there's nothing to pull out of this category. In our household category, we do have some money left over. Our budget for this month was $100. After all of our trips, I did end transferring $10 to our grocery budget. We do have $13 left over. So that's $5, $10, $11, $12, and $13. And this is gonna go in here. And then in transportation, which is also gas, our total budget was $350. However, we were over last month by $13. So we did have $337 to spend for this month. After filling up our gas, which was only 3 times, it's typically like 4 times, but we were gone the first week of January because we were in New York. So that helped offset that cost. We do have $148 left. So $1, $20, $40, $45, $46, $47, and $48. So with this money, since we did not spend the entire budget that we basically were planning on spending, we do have some money to go towards New York. So we have 100, 20, 40, 45, 50, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, and 61. So $161 is saved at the end of the month because we did not go over or spend the entire amount budgeted for those 3 categories, which I think is maybe the most that we've had in quite some time. So $161. And then, well, I guess I'll just bring my iPad back out so that I can explain this a little bit. Looking at our monthly budget. Oops. So in the month of January, I was expecting us to bring in $9,229. After all of our money came in plus extra income that I was not anticipating. We did have $10,685 to work with for this month. All of our bills that are due throughout the month are all listed here, and they were all pretty accurate. I was expecting to pay $3,064 in bills. We ended up paying $3,224 because we did pay a little bit extra to pay off our Christmas budget. And then looking at our variable spending, we did spend $410. Remember, $400 is what we put into the envelope this month. We did have a rollover of $100, so we did have $500 to spend, but we technically paid $410 out of this month's budget to go towards groceries. For household, we spent $77 out of $100, and gas we spent $202 out of $350. And then in my spending, since I do get 3 paychecks a month, I was anticipating $400 each paycheck, so that's $1,200 total. I technically only spent $1,119 so far. I still have to stuff my envelopes for this week. But assuming that I just use all of that money by the time I get paid again in 2 weeks, that's how much I would have spent. So the difference between this amount and this amount is listed here. So because I did spend $81 less on myself, I just applied that to New York. My husband, he was anticipating 2 paychecks, so he was getting $800. He actually spent $608 on himself. He did put $1,072 towards New York, and that is because he had an increase in his paychecks. He worked a lot of extra hours because he knew we were going on this trip. So he was expecting to bring in an income of $3,200. He actually brought in $4,100 for the month. And then he paid off all of the charges that he made on his credit card when we were in New York City. And then after today's paycheck, my extra paycheck, I am putting the entire amount of $1,580 into and towards my credit card for New York. So variable expenses, it was supposed to be $2,850. We are up $51.49. Looking at our savings, because everything pretty much checked out here. I was expecting to put $1,530 towards my savings. I did not put anything towards savings because it all went to New York. And so our total savings for the month was $1,800 versus $3,315. So looking down here at our summary, our total income minus our bills, minus our expenses, minus our savings, we have $512 left. So how that $512 calculates is, I'll bring my calculator out here. Let's see if I can get it in the frame. Hope you guys can see that. So it's the 351 plus 1, 20, 40, 5, 10, 15, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 512. So we have this in cash, and then the rollover money that stayed in the bank account. So between the entire month, from either earning extra money or bills less than anticipated or spending less than we were planning, we have $512 left over for the month, and all of this money is going to go straight to the credit card to pay off New York. So I hope that makes sense. I tried to explain that the best that I can. So with that being said, I have $15.12 from rollover money and cash, plus $15.80, $2,092. However, I kind of got ahead of myself a little bit. In my monthly budget, I did say that I am putting $81 towards my New York trip, and that is because I have a little bit of cash in my envelope that I'm gonna pull out to apply towards my credit card to also put towards New York. If you watched videos prior, you will see that from my envelopes from my very first paycheck, after everything was said and done, I did have $45 left over to apply to New York. That's already been recorded in another video. I did have some money left over in shopping and miscellaneous. So the difference between these numbers here was $45. I just put that $45 towards my credit card. And then the money that I have in here right now is from my paycheck from the 17th, which was 2 weeks ago. I'm going to be pulling out $36, and that money is coming from shopping again and fun stuff. So between those two categories, I do have $36 left. So I'm going to pull that $36 out of my envelopes now so that I can restuff. Oops, I dropped my pen. So that I can restuff my categories for the next 2 weeks. I hope you guys are able to follow along on this one. So in my personal binder, I have nothing left over. I actually went over by $30, used all my miscellaneous money to cover that. That balanced out at $0. In shopping, I started with $50, and I should have $20, $21, $22, $23 left over. Clothes, I have $49. I haven't spent anything. I'm going to leave that in there. Makeup, I started with $80, and I have $30 left over. And in fun stuff, I started with $250. I have $13 left over. So I have $5, $6, $7, $8, $9, $10, $11, $12, $13. So altogether, this should be $36, which is $20, $25, $26, $27, $28, $29, $30, $31, $32, $33, $34, $35, and $36. So I'm going to take this money out, and I am going to restuff these envelopes here in just a second. But I want to get this New York situation all taken care of. So to make it a little less complicated than what it already is, one, I'm going to record the $36 because that has not been recorded. I did already record the rollover money. I was going to film a video last week, but I just didn't have time to do it. And so I was trying to figure it all out together. But, so this $351 is from the rollover money that was left in our account at the end of the month. So in our airplanes, after applying that $351, we owe $209. And you can see this 45 was from my last paycheck. So $131, we're going to put Liz. We're adding $36. So $209 minus 36, we still owe $173. Okay, so that is the $36. I'm going to move that to the side so I can get that out of the way. And I'm going to apply that to my credit card first thing tomorrow. Next, since we already did the 351, we are going to apply the extra payment, the extra paycheck that I got. So it's $15.80 total that we're applying. So we are going to just go through each section until everything's paid. I'm gonna add 173 here, so that's 0. So out of 1580, 173, that's paid for. Gas, 131. Gas, we spent 261, that's now paid. Oops. Food, this is the heaviest one. So food, let's see, 131. Liz, we spent 1017 on food. So we're gonna subtract 1017. We've already paid this one off. Souvenirs, we owed $60. Oops, writing too hard. We're gonna add $60, pay off this one. Drinks, there was nothing this trip. And then shopping, this is the last category that we have to pay for. 131, I'm gonna put Liz. We are going to add, and all I have is $69 left. I owe 172, so I still owe $103 left on this one. But thank you, God, because of the rollover money from my family budgets, I do have enough money to officially pay off New York. So I'm gonna put $300 I'm sorry, $103 out of the money that we saved from our family budgets, and I'm going to apply this to our New York trip, and I'm just gonna put family so I know where the money came from. 103, and that zeroes everything out. So we are officially done paying off the New York trip. Oh my gosh, it was over $3,000 for this trip, and we have to pay it back by the 20th of February, and we are now officially all paid. We are done. We paid it off. I know we could do it. We always manage to. We are officially paid with New York. So from my family budgets, I do have a little bit of money left. I have 20, 40, 45, 50, 55, 56, 57. I have $58 left. I can start using this money towards my $500 savings challenge. That was originally the goal before I decided to go to New York. So it's this one here. So with our family rollover money, we were doing this challenge, if you remember. So far we have $170. I now have 20, 40, 45, 50, 55, 56, 57. I have $58, so I can probably scratch in a couple of circles. These $3 I'm not going to be able to use, so I'm just going to move those to the side. 20, 40, 45, 50. I have $55. So I'm going to do, I have $55. I'm going to do a 30. I'll do this $30 here. I'll do, and I'll just do this 25. So this $500 challenge is for a bride and groom that Michael and I, Michael's my husband, we accepted an offer to be in their wedding. So our contribution gift to the bride and groom to be is $500. So we are doing this $500 challenge to gift the bride and groom. And our goal to have this money is hopefully, it was supposed to be by the end of March, but now it might be April. The wedding is in May, so I wanted to give it to them by March so they have a month to pay whatever they have to pay prior to the wedding. But because we went on this trip and we used our money aggressively to pay off New York, we might have to figure out a different way to make this challenge happen, because the goal is 500. We have 100, 50, 20, 40, 60, 5, 10, 15. We still have $275 to go. So that is the new goal. We will be focusing on this $500 challenge. Once this one is completed, then we can move on to another goal. I am just so happy and so proud that we were able to pay off that New York trip. We paid it all off this month. Super grateful that I was able to get an extra paycheck. My husband, thank you to him. He went and worked extra shifts, including Christmas, to make sure that we can go on this trip. And we got an extra check from a refund that we were expecting. So there was a lot of money that was coming in that we just really needed. And I'm super grateful. Oh, I remember. So these $3 that I couldn't put into the $500 challenge, I'm actually going to put that into a different challenge. So I'm actually starting this one. I was supposed to start it the beginning of the year, but because of New York, couldn't do it. This is a 52-week challenge, and I'm already behind because we're done with the first month of January. But I'm just gonna use these $3 to fill in 2 envelopes. So I can do the $1 and the $2. So I'm kind of back on track. I can start doing this challenge too. Once I have, the goal is to have this one done by the end of the year, because I would like to buy myself a new MacBook, like a laptop, whatever they're called, a Mac laptop, whatever. For myself, the one that I have is really old and I really need to get a new one. So I'm going to challenge myself to save this money within a year, and then hopefully I can buy it for myself for Christmas. So that's what I'll do with these extra $3. I'll throw that in the back of this envelope or this binder, and I will start working on that one too with whatever cash I have that I can throw at it. Oh, I hope that was okay to follow. I hope we're all on the same track here. So now, with that being said, New York is paid off. We are successfully able to contribute to our $500 savings for the wedding we're going to be in. Started my savings challenge for my new laptop. So now we can go back into my envelopes and stuff what I have to. I have $400 to stuff, and these are the numbers that I'm going to be stuffing for the next 2 weeks. Okay, so I'm going to move this again. I'm going to count the cash. So this here should be $400 that I withdrew from the bank. I have $200, a $50 bill, $20, $40, $60, $80, $10, $20, $5, $10, $15, $20, $25, $30, $35, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and $15. $400 to stuff this week for the next 2 weeks for me. So I will be using this binder, Personal normally gets $20, but we are giving it $100 so that I can get a haircut that is very, very much needed. Shopping is going to get its usual $50. Clothes is going to get its usual $30. And this also includes shoes, so just so that you guys are aware of that one. $20 and $30. So I should have 20, 40, 60, 70, 75, 76, 77, 78, and 79. And makeup is not getting anything this week. My fun stuff category is getting $190 instead of its $250. So 100, 20, 40, 60, 70, 75, 80, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, and $90. And I'm hoping that that is going to be enough. I'm going to try my best. And miscellaneous is going to get its usual 30, 5, 10, 15, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and $30. The miscellaneous category is just like a buffer. It's there to help any of the categories that I may go over in. So this is what I have for the next 2 weeks. And yeah, these are also the cute little envelopes that I bought from the girl on Instagram, Simple Shops. They're reusable. You just have to use an alcohol wipe to erase. But they're super cute. Simple Shops, that's her Instagram logo. I like these better than the paper ones that I had, just because I can put these directly into the envelope instead of having that paper in between. They fit perfect with my envelopes. So super happy with that purchase. But that is all that I have for today. I know that was a lot, and I thank you guys so much for your patience. I hope I was able to explain everything right. But yeah, a successful January to me. Lots of money saved, lots of money applied to New York. New York is officially paid off. Thrilled that we were able to do that before the credit card payment is due and any interest was charged to us on that one. So yeah, that's all. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe. Also like, comment, let me know what you think about these videos. And I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great weekend. Bye.